chance to really dig into a lot of the class changes that we made in Legion. Up until this point, we've mostly focused on fixing bugs. We focused on a lot of hotfix tuning and balancing and tweaking numbers. But 715 gives us a chance to look more deeply into the substance of class abilities, rotations, talents, things along those lines. And so there's a few things that are going to guide us as we approach those efforts. So first off, we have a lot of data, a lot of feedback. We can look at all of the talent rows across all 36 specs. And we've definitely heard and seen there are many situations where it feels like there's a mandatory talent in a given row, or in other rows there are talents that don't really have a clear purpose. They never seem like they're worth taking. You go to a site like Icy Veins and it has a big red X through it. It's like, this is never worth considering. That's unfortunate. We would like to work on improving that diversity, and some of that's going to be a matter of numbers changes. Sometimes a talent is perfectly well designed, it's just undertuned or it's overpowered. In other cases, however, we need to rework the fundamental concept of that talent. Or perhaps the thing that 98% of players take as a talent should just be a base part of the spec, and we should come up with something new that's going to flesh out that row and make it an interesting choice. That's the type of thing that will be happening in 715. It's of course an ongoing effort, but you'll see some of it here. Next, secondary stats. So obviously, when we build our items, item level isn't always strictly king, but the way rewards are structured, when you go into a new tier, you go into a new zone, and you see something that is 15, 20 item levels higher than anything you've seen before, the way this game is designed, that should be an exciting moment, it should be a reward moment, and too often, due to large disparities between the value of secondary stats, that's not the case. So this patch is also going to give us a chance to take a look at secondary stat balance, trying to narrow that gap a little bit. It's great that if you're a fire mage, you love crit. It's less great that you look at items without it or items with other stats as completely worthless. And there's a middle ground there where you can have value and excitement about some stats while still keeping interest in all of them. Next, and this is kind of one of the most vague points here, but we've also heard a lot of feedback about just the feel, the flow of your rotations, how, abilities that often come into conflict, abilities that are unclear, and 715 offers us one of the first chances to try to address a lot of that feedback in the aftermath of launch. And they're just pure mechanical improvements that we can make that aren't about balance, they're just about making playing your class a smoother, more pleasant experience all around. And finally, we definitely heard a lot about this, seen a lot about this, and while we, in the name of streamlining, in the name of focusing spec and class identity in the run-up to Legion, we pruned, we got rid of a number of abilities. There's certainly room now, after that pruning, to have structured growth, to maybe return some of those abilities, to maybe add some new ones, to flesh out toolkits. So for example, if you're a hunter, and you're a marks hunter or a beastmaster hunter, and you don't quite feel like a hunter because you don't have any traps, we agree. It was a mistake to say that... Yeah, it was a mistake, right? It was a mistake to say that only survival has traps. Survival can be the masters of traps without being the only one who have them. There are times where we elevated spec identity at the expense of class identity, and there are places where we can walk that back in the interests of everyone. Or for example, if you're a rogue, and you've been running a lot of Mythic Keystone dungeons, and you wish you still had the ability Shroud of Concealment so that you could sneak your group past some paths, and your group might be really happy or excited to have a rogue in the group. That could also be happening in 715. And by could, I mean is. So that is patch 715. A small, humble patch in the world of Legion, featuring Season 3 of the Brawlers Guild, Mists of Pandaria Time Walking, micro-holidays, an art update to Blade's Edge, class updates, and more. Bug fixes, new rewards, all kinds of little things. That is the 715 package. Now, of course, the next question. When? When is this going to be in your hands? When will you learn more? Soon. No, actually really soon. The second we get back from BlizzCon, we're going to work on taking down the 7.1 PTR, working to put 7.15 PTR up. You'll see a ton of these changes there. Can't wait to have people jump on, start giving us their feedback, and helping find bugs so we can get into your hands as quickly as possible as all part of a steady stream of content. So 715, small patch.